The hiss of the oxygen mask was the only thing keeping me tethered. My chest burned, lungs clawing for air. Then his hand reached in. My father. He tore the mask off like it was nothing. "Save it for someone who matters," he spat. The room spun. My mother laughed, cruel and sharp. "Who would ever love garbage like you?" Their faces blurred above me while monitors screamed. For a moment, I thought I'd die there. Not from the surgery, but from the hands of the people who raised me. But I didn't die. I memorized that moment, and I swore it would be the last time they ever laughed at my pain. There was a time when I thought love was unconditional, that parents protected you, that family was sanctuary. When I was a child, I clung to them. My father, towering, untouchable. My mother, soft when she wanted to be. I believed their approval meant safety. But cracks showed early. Mockery disguised as jokes. Affection rationed out like currency. Every mistake recorded, replayed, weaponized. I told myself it was normal, that all kids lived like this, until the hospital, until that mask. That was the day illusion died. Survival changes your eyes. After I walked out of that ward, scarred and stitched, I began to see patterns I had ignored. The way my father spoke about me when he thought I wasn't listening. Useless, always a burden. The way my mother smiled when others mocked me, never once defending. How the world saw them as respectable, generous pillars of the community. But behind closed doors, they sharpened their cruelty on me. And it wasn't just words. I found paperwork. My father using my name to hide debts. My mother forging my signature for her fake donations. They weren't just abusive, they were parasites. They thought I'd never notice. They thought I'd stay broken. I learned to wear masks of my own. Quiet, obedient, numb. They thought they'd won, but silence was strategy. I wasn't healing, I was planning. I studied them the way predators study prey. Where they kept documents, who they trusted, how they moved money. Every secret they mocked me with, I stored like a weapon. I didn't need fists, I didn't need screaming, I needed patience. And patience is something the broken know intimately. They valued reputation above all else. That was their weak spot. They needed the world to see them as perfect, loving parents, respected leaders, unblemished. So I decided, if they tried to take my breath, I'd take their mask, the one they wore for the world. I collected proof, bank records, emails, voice recordings. Not stolen, just left unguarded by people who assumed I was too stupid, too weak, too sick to understand. I built my case like an architect, brick by brick. Fraud, embezzlement, abuse, every angle covered, every detail airtight. And I chose the place for the reveal carefully. Their charity gala. The one night they paraded as saints before donors and cameras. Perfect. The hall shimmered with chandeliers, champagne, laughter, everyone they needed to impress. My parents worked the room like royalty, shaking hands, collecting praise, smiling wide, the very picture of benevolence. And then the screens lit up. Not with the glossy promotional video they'd prepared, but with my father's voice. Save it for someone who matters. My mother's laugh followed. Who would ever love garbage like you? The room fell silent. You could hear the wine glasses set down, the sharp intake of breath. But I didn't stop there. One by one, files appeared. Stolen funds traced through their accounts. Forged signatures. Audio of them mocking donors, sneering about dumb sheep giving us money. Their empire of lies unraveled in front of their guests, in front of the cameras. They scrambled, shouting at staff to cut the feed. But it was everywhere. Screens, speakers, even the press had been tipped off, waiting with headlines ready. And I stood in the corner, calm, breathing steady. The oxygen mask they once ripped away had become my weapon. My father saw me then, rage in his eyes, veins bursting in his neck. The man who once watched me suffocate now looked like he couldn't breathe himself. He staggered toward me, but the crowd parted, recoiling. He wasn't feared anymore. He was exposed. My mother's face twisted, mascara streaking, begging people to believe her. But no one did. They saw the truth now. The masks were gone. I didn't raise my voice, didn't need to. I just whispered as he passed close enough to hear, "You should have saved it for someone who mattered." The words landed harder than any fist. He froze. And in that silence, everything collapsed. They lost everything within weeks. Businesses investigated, assets frozen, friends vanished. Their names became poison. I didn't celebrate loudly. I didn't need to. My revenge wasn't about applause. It was about air, breathing freely for the first time. And I do, every day. I inhale without fear, without their hands around mine.